Oh. Welcome to Meaningful Mornings. For the past months, I've been learning more about the effective altruism movement. How many of you have heard about this before? By show of hands. Good. The effective altruism movement holds that we should value all lives equally and act on that basis. This movement challenges the general notion and message that we come across to think globally and act locally. This movement challenges that, encouraging us to think globally and act globally as well. Part of this is a term described as long-termism. That every decision you make, every word you speak, every action you engage in should be for the long term. And the article that you will read as your application for today shares, we are presently in a key moral prioritization period. Our prioritization of the short term and long term is now a matter of morality. What we do today has immeasurable impact on what will happen tomorrow, the next generation, the next generation. Within this movement, there is a pledge that one should offer at least 10% of their income to high impact charities. And soon I will share with you about the founder of Patagonia. How many of you own Patagonia clothing or articles by a show of hands? He recently pledged his entire fortune of $3 billion to high impact charities. He didn't give 1% or 5% or 10% or 20%. He gave what Mahabali gave, which is 100%. And to help us reflect on this is a line from the article you will read. How much comfort should we be willing to trade for potentially enormous gains to society? Reflect on that. I'll read it again. How much comfort should we be willing to trade for potentially enormous gains to society? If that's too abstract in a very micro sense, it's cooler in Canada now. What is the comfortable action to take? Increase the heat in our home. Because this 200 square feet is feeling colder, let's heat 2,000 square feet. But wouldn't it make more sense for me to wear a light jacket? As I read these insights, what does this remind you of? Isn't this our Upanishads? Isn't this Bhagavad Gita? Isn't this Srimad Bhagavatam? Oneness, generosity, sacrifice. We have been learning this forever. In Meaningful Mornings, we're approaching 800 mornings. It is fine to listen. It's fine to hear Bhagavad Gita. But for all of us, we should have the maturity to listen to Bhagavad Gita. And more so, to follow. To not just think globally, but act globally. Sri Krishna is sharing ways for us to feel his sacred presence in the secular. He started off in a controlled environment by sharing when we're in a ritual where there's butter and fire and so on, feel his sacred presence. Now he gives another environment, which is uncontrolled. Can you tell me, what is the most uncontrolled environment you're in? Don't say Meaningful Mornings, okay? This is a highly controlled environment. Every morning we're together. Workplace, yes. University, yes. I feel universally it's with our families. We become uncontrolled with our families, yes? What we think, what we say. Verse 17. This is a famous and insightful verse. Pitaham asya jagataha mata dhata pita mahaha vedyam pavitram omkaraha riksama yajurevacha. Shri Krishna shares, I am. The word aham is used again and again and again. I remember teaching these verses in Niagara some time ago, and the beginner seeker had shared, I think Sri Krishna is narcissistic. Everything is about him. And I shared with her, if you think like this, you're narcissistic. When he thinks like this, it's factual, correct? He's not sharing this subjectively. He's sharing this objectively. So who is he? Pita. In English, I keep joking, I'm training our children to say Pitashri, yes? Pita means father. Fine, that's the literal meaning, but the implication is he is the cause. He is the cause for creation, which makes him the creator. Pita, or father, implies creator. Sharing this more scientifically, he is the father of this multiverse. Technically, that is called the nimitta karana. Nimitta means intelligent. Karana means cause. He is the intelligence by which creation has come to be. Okay? He's the cause. This cause is not inert, it is intelligent. And you see from this word and the next word I will share why I describe Sri Krishna as our original parent. He himself is stating Pita, and then he says Mata. In English, mother. See, I don't train my kids to call Sheila Mata Shri. We'll just focus on Pita Shri right now. Mata here should not be thought of in a biological sense only. whenever Pita is used, and then that's followed by Mata, the collective teaching here is that Sri Krishna is the Purusha and Prakriti, the cause and the effect. The Nimitta Karana, which means the intelligent effect, as well as the Upadana Karana, which means material effect. He's not just the intelligence that is the foundation of creation, he's the material with which creation is made. Remember, in an earlier verse, Sri Krishna shared, I'm in every direction. Everything you're touching right now, everything you're smelling, everything you're seeing, though you feel that's inert, this inert material has been sourced from an intelligent effect. That is Sri Krishna. Next, Dhata. Dhata is the one who supports. And the implication here is Sri Krishna is our father, is our mother, is all of our relationships. All of our relationships are supporting us. Yes. Sometimes these relationships are easy, sometimes they're hard, but they're all supporting us to be better. In this verse, one is to feel loved. That every relationship we have loves us. And Sri Krishna is trying to bring that not to sight, but insight. One more relationship is shared. Pita Mahaha. In English, grandfather. Father, mother, relationships, grandfather. It seems redundant, no? Mother, father, all relationships, then another specific relationship is given. And it's also redundant because some of us have never met our grandfathers before. Yes, maybe they passed away earlier. The implication of this, the most lovely implication, that Sri Krishna is causeless. Causeless. So as the father, he's the creator. As the grandfather, the implication is he is consciousness. That even before he was the creator, he is consciousness. Does this work for all of you? Is this moving to all of you? Please be moved by this. I'm begging you. This is incredible. I try to work hard and smart in making this practical for a different type of mindset. But with bhakti is not practical. Tell me, what's the practicality of love? If there's a practicality to it that you want to get something back, then it's not love. It's shopping. That's why I had shared in our Vedanta and Bhagavata class, bhakti, devotion, is difficult for those who are highly intellectual. Those who are highly intellectual, it's almost like they become self-centric. What do I get? How is this in reference to me? But these chapters and verse and section are teaching us to forget about ourselves. Next quarter, Vedyam. Vedya means that which is to be known. That one's primary education is to know one's father, mother, all relationships, grandfather, all love us, are guiding us to feel divine. Very specifically, what is to be known? Thyself. You don't have to know accounting. You don't need to know how to cook. You don't need to know how to drive. But you do need to know who you are. And if you do, pavitram. Pavitra means pure. This knowing that you are divine purifies you, specifically purges the ego. What is dirty about us is the notions of doership and deservership. If I know I am divine, I don't have to think I'm the doer. I am all. Who am I telling I'm the doer? Who am I getting deservership from? And finally, Omkaraha, the sound symbol Om, Rik Veda, Sama Veda, Yajus Veda. Shri Krishna is sharing. He is the Veda, that is our maps. What do these maps teach? Omkara, which is divinity, and he is beyond this. He is the map. He is the original parent. He is infinity. From inspiration to application, your recent application was to join us for Practices to Perfection, our Thursday study group. How many of you are in this course? Awesome. What was your follow your sadhana from last night? Read inspiring. That every morning, before you become uninspired, fill yourself up with inspiration. And I feel that Meaningful Mornings facilitates or checks off a lot of what we need in the morning, in the day. Your application for this morning is I want you to read the article I just referenced on effective altruism movement. I want you to become an EA, one who doesn't just hear or listen, but rather follows effective altruism. Shanti, Shanti, Shantihi. Be safe, be sound, be serene, be joy.